This is the Suzuki Avenis 125. The engine capacity is at around 125 cc. It weighs around 106 kilograms curb weight, that is. Seat height is at 780 mm. Fuel tank capacity is 5.2 liters. The max power it can produce is 8.58 bhp, and it produces a torque of 10 Newton meters. So now that we have done with this specifications, let's dig into my ownership experience so far and all the other nitty-gritties of the ownership, that is ownership experience, that is. Yeah. So guys, before buying this bike, I actually went into the showroom to buy the Suzuki Access125 because I thought, a scooter is a must for in a garage, right? A scooter, irrespective of whatever vehicle you have, is a must because of the convenience it offers, especially in India, right? So thinking of that, I went ahead and said, let me try this scooter instead of the Access this time. And one of the key selling points of this scooter for me was this storage up ahead here. Okay, you can store a big large phone, and then you can also charge it here using the charger. Okay, so you have the cable, you connect the cable in and then put your cell phone in here and close it. Alright, and here this cubby hole was also one of the main selling points for me. You could just keep a proper 1 liter water bottle also if you fit it in, but half liter water bottle fits in perfectly. So these two things really prodded me to go ahead and buy this. Yeah, to be honest, that was it, because in the Access you just have one small cubby hole like this, and you could probably keep anything that you want. Right now I'm keeping this used banyan to clean all the dust that accumulates on my scooter whenever I park it in the basement. Now that cubby hole can be used in the traffic whenever you are maybe scrolling through your TikTok or Instagram and suddenly the light turns green. What do? You need to put the cell phone inside your pant pockets. Very difficult because the buggers waiting behind you will unleash the cacophony of horn, right? They'll start honking. So what do? You quickly put the cell phone in that cubby hole and then you ride on. But the risk is that if someone, some smart ass sees that and then tries to, rather he can easily pick it up, right, because it's exposed. Here he will have to go here nicely and then open this knob and then put the hand inside and take your cell phone out. So that is my justification for buying this scooter. But otherwise, I'll tell you what, ergonomically it is, although they have tried to make it comfortable, it's not comfortable. Let me tell you why. First thing is, the Access seat is straight, okay, but this thing is scooped out. That means to say the max you can go is from here to here. In terms of moving around on your bike, that is, right? And the fact that it is scooped out, also that it is soft. Okay, it's pretty soft compared to the Access seat. The Access seat is very long and it is also not contoured like this. It's flat, which makes it very practical. Okay, I'll come to that in a while. In the meantime, just take a look at the accessories that I have put on. This is one of those extra fittings, very well engineered. This is, I think, the knuckle guard, as I call it. Okay, yeah, the knuckle guards here. This costed me around just about $1,500, and that's it. Very, very cost effective and well engineered. Okay, so that is that. Yeah, so what I want to tell you about is the ergonomics, right? I usually use my scooters like this. I pull out the pillion footrests and rest my leg on this, because I can't rest it here. I don't rest it here. In fact, I can, but I don't The main reason being that whenever there's a pothole, you see these beautiful roads of ours, anywhere in India for that matter, they are paved like this, right? So even the smallest of the undulations like these, okay, what happens is the wheels up front are 12-inch, out there at the back it is 10-inch, right? So the small wheels cannot handle big potholes. That means to say they will dig in and they will pass the shock onto your spine, and this put me in a very bad spot. I was almost so worried about my back, you see. Okay, having ridden this scooter for close to maybe a month or so, I was almost ready to go to the hospital. Okay, the very fact that I could also say that my posture, riding posture, although I have corrected it now because I was not locking my lower lumbar spine, and that is one of the main reasons I had this problem. Apart from that, the beautiful roads as I spoke about, okay, these beautiful roads that you see here, they contributed to the incident of my spinal lumbar back pain. Thankfully I'm fine right now. Okay, I recovered because I stopped riding this and I only ride my motorcycle. So getting back to the ergonomic point once again, what happens is, see, the foot peg is out here, but when you compare it with Access, the foot peg is somewhere here, okay, and even lower than this. So what happens is you could literally stand when you see a pothole. What I was talking about, the pillion footrest here in the Avenis, and compare that with the Vespas. Right, it is first thing is it's narrower. Okay, you can rest your foot here and then stand up and save your ass from a bloody pothole. Okay, you can save your ass from a bloody pothole, but you can't do on this because it's, first of all, it's wide and it's very high up, and then it's like literally riding a ZX 10R, a very sporty stance, but then it bends your knees too much. Okay, but this does extend it a little bit. This is what I was talking about. You can stand and escape the shocks. Okay, so that I could do with an Access easier than this. In fact, you're not supposed to do that on a scooter. Of course, you're supposed to rest your leg out there, just put your spine on you put your butt on the seat, and the spine takes the entire shock of the shock absorbers of the road, that is. But that is not in my favor for now. Okay, so that is a short story about how I felt about the ergonomics of this scooter, or any scooter for that matter. But I've seen a couple of them, starting with Access, and I think even the Vespa SXL and that series, you can stand up to escape from certain shocks on the roads. Okay, you slightly, I'm not saying you can saddle like a Tiger motorcycle, adventure motorcycle, or whatever it is. You can just escape that small shock on the roads. Or the fact is, if the road is really bad for a very long time, how long can you keep on standing up? Okay, you will work out your thighs, right? So that is also there. So that means to say, scooters are not for me, especially in India. All right, for our beautiful Indian roads, scooters are not for me. Okay, we need larger wheelbase vehicles, or rather the motorcycles, which can take care of most of it. Because on motorcycle you can easily saddle, right? You can saddle without any issues, right? So keeping that in mind, let's move on to the other final points. The ergonomics is what I wanted to complain about, but let me speak about the performance of the bike. See, the front end in terms of handling is very light compared to the Access. Access takes a little bit of time to, let's say, maneuver, but this is very sharp. Okay, so sharp that sometimes you get a feeling that it might go out of control. In the sense, the front wheel is nice and slim, right? And it can turn in and it can filter traffic like nobody's business. Yeah, the best thing is the turning radius also. It can turn, you can take a U-turn literally let's say if you can just lift it a little bit, you can In fact, you can lift it. It's so light. It's lighter than Access, in fact. Okay, because of the carbon fiber. Sorry. What is it called? Fiber parts. Okay, because of the fiber parts, it is lighter than the Access, and it's very flickable compared to the Access. Now, mileage wise, it's giving me around 45 kilometers per liter on an average, because my existing my older Access 125, it used to give me 50 and 52 or something like that, but this seems to be giving less for some reason. I don't know why. And the thing is, yeah, mostly because I keep it in full throttle all the way throughout my highway rides, because I had to cover around 80 kilometers a day, all right, 40 kilometers one way. So that is another reason why I feel scooters are not for me, especially the small, tiny, weeny tired ones. All right. So, yeah, having spoken about that, just pay attention to this point, guys. See, I think nobody would have brought this point up. Just imagine scooters on a bad road like this, okay, and just imagine the kind of harm it does to you. Maybe I am exceptional. I might have a problematic back. I might have had a problematic back that is, on its way to heal. But then, in general, look at the kind of harm the road does to you, and especially when you ride scooters with smaller wheelbase. Smaller diameter wheels. Right. I seriously wish Suzuki had given us 12-inch wheels even at the rear. They've done this for the new Bergman. Why the heck don't they do it for all the scooters that they have, right? Okay, why still continue with the 10-inch rear wheel? It'll, first of all, it'll add aesthetics and symmetry to it, and apart from that, it'll also slightly improve the ride quality at the back because of the larger diameter wheel, right? So, okay, so having spoken about this, let me just show you how the console looks. And they've given all the gizmos, not gizmos as such, they've given this Bluetooth thingy that I hardly use, right? They would rather give me a television with a sports channel also, if that is the case. I don't know why these scooter companies, maybe they're just playing catch up with other companies. One company does this gizmo thing and then they follow up with others. So you press this button, as soon as it's turned on, it goes off. So I usually keep it off, or rather you leave it alone for 30 seconds or 1 minute. I think it vanishes on its own. Now it has done close to this is the button you have to press. Yeah, so yeah, 2685 is what I've ridden so far on the Odo. And then you have the trip A, trip B, you have the this is the average fuel consumption. It's showing around 50 kmpl, that is. And then this is the instantaneous fuel consumption, and that's the voltmeter. And let me turn it on. Simple one touch, just press one of the levers and it will turn on its own. Very smooth in the sense, not as smooth as electric, but then smooth enough. Yeah. Comparing an IC engine to electric, but however, it buzzes a little bit. So let me just pretty smooth, very well engineered vehicle, but not for me. Yeah. So let me also point out a thing about the hooks. The hooks always need to be in this design. The one you see on the TVS, it comes out and it is it protrudes, and you see that it has this what shall I call it? It's a sharp protruding edge. And imagine that you have parked the vehicle like this, and then what do? You don't swing your legs on a scooter, right? You get your knees in here, right? And then what happens? What happened to me in the end torque was, without being aware of the hook being open, I once, without noticing, just did like this. I mean, it was quick. I swung like this and woof, poof. Oh my god, it hurt me so bad, man. It hurt my knee so bad. Oof. It gives me chills. You want to remember. Thankfully I recovered well, that is fine. But I'll tell you what, this is good engineering. This is how it should be. So in case without my knowledge or without being aware, I just go ahead and do this, it doesn't hurt, right? See, it doesn't hurt my knees. It's blunt. That is how you should gauge the quality of engineering on a vehicle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So a few more comparisons with Access125. The footboard is slightly lesser, and in fact, as I told you already, this part, this pillion footrest is lower in that, and it has a little bit of a little bit more platform at the back of this at the starting of this particular apron here. Okay, I'll show you the boot. So it is open here from the key out there, and this is how it is. It's a pretty decent let's say sized storage, and apart from this, nothing much that I can speak about for now. So handling wise, I already told you, it's very nimble. Stability, you can't expect much. You can cruise it around 80 all day long, but the thing is, if to go above 85, it takes quite an effort. You have to keep the throttle open and wait for it to reach, or rather pray for a tailwind, and then it loses steam after 80. That's it. That's the top speed you can do. I mean, top speed wise, you could touch 100 and then come back, but then the thing is, the handling. So that's where it will get you, right? In the sense, is being a scooter, cruising at 100 and suddenly being able to maneuver it safely becomes a bit risky. So that is one thing. So 80 all day long, 80 kilometers per hour all day long, no problems. And it returns a fuel efficiency once again of 45 kilometers per liter overall average, that is. The fuel tank also opens pretty easily. I just have to go here. Yeah, this is where it is. You put your key in, oops, and boop, it opens up like this. The good part is it stays here, right? In the Access, you have a separate part out here, and then you can take it out completely. And if you're angry at someone, rather maybe a fellow person who is honking behind you in the petrol bunk, you can throw it at him. You can throw the fuel lid at him. Right. So yeah, that's the only difference. That's the difference. Plus, it's also slanted. The Access, it's slanted. This one is almost horizontal to the ground. So, and that's that. With this, I would like to conclude this rather offbeat and kind of a hatke review of this scooter. I don't think you would have seen this kind of stuff on YouTube, but then I hope you enjoyed it. Do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, ciao. And look, the service costs I haven't spoken about. Let me just speak about the service cost. It costs you around 800 to 700 rupees. Out of that, the oil charge is just around less than 400 rupees, because it takes in just around 0.8 ml of see about 800 milliliters of oil, right? It doesn't really need much. And because of this, so somehow these service center guys, they hike it up, they inflate the bill. They put some shit called as Teflon coating, which basically attracts a lot of dust. Even though you don't say no, you rather say yes, because they might do something else to the vehicle. You know what I mean, right? Just keep quiet and pay that extra 200 rupees just for them to keep quiet. I mean, keep from damaging something else because of a because you didn't give them the opportunity to earn 200-300 bucks. Okay, so that's how much it costs, about 800 rupees for a typical service, and that's at around 3000 kilometers gap on the Odo, right? Yeah.